Hey.
Hi, sweetie.
We have a very special guest today. My husband, the man, the myth, the legend, Andy. You're just Andy. One name. Solo.
I am Andy. I'm also Andrew.
You're also Andrew. But you became Andy because on our first date, I asked you, do you go by Andrew or Andy? Because I had stalked your Instagram. And your Instagram was Andy, but your Hinge was Andrew. And I asked you which you preferred. And in that moment, you decided that you were Andy, even though like most people in your life knew you as Andrew.
Yes.
Like you decided to rebrand.
Well, my best friend at the time was calling me Andy.
Okay, so it didn't come out of nowhere.
It didn't come out of nowhere. I was spending most of my time with him.
Yeah.
In San Francisco.
That's fair.
You know.
That's fair.
So,
well, I was
but
happy.
he was the one that started it. It certainly wasn't true at the time.
I was happy.
It certainly wasn't untrue at the time when I said that.
I was happy about it because Morgan's husband is Andy.
Yeah, it worked out really well.
Yeah, and they just honestly.
I think you kind of felt like the stars aligned at that point.
100%. I was like, I found my Andy.
Exactly.
Morgan has her Andy. She works at Salesforce. I work at Salesforce. Like, this is perfect. I'm following all of the right steps in life.
Right.
We're so happy to have you. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, of course.
This is a family business now, though, so you don't really have a choice.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I love you and I'm happy to be here.
I love you. So what did you do today?
A lot of running.
Walk us through the morning.
Just like a lot of like exercising.
Yeah.
With Salazzo, of course.
Of course.
I've been out of my routine, I think,
the
last couple weeks because of all the traveling that we've been doing.
We've been deeply unwell.
So I've been shuffling stuff around, but I woke up pretty late. I woke up at like, I think 8:30 maybe, and had to eat some stuff really quick.
What did you eat?
I had a Martin carbohydrate drink.
What's a Martin carbohydrate drink? Why don't I know what that is?
It's exactly that. It's like basically it's liquid and you dump it into water. It's powder and you dump it into water and you shake it up and it's like 60 grams of carbs. And it's what I have for all my long runs.
It's just like an easy way to like get substance.
Very easy way. Yeah, like pretty classic Saturday morning. We just we went out for a 16-mile run. And
do you want to share why you went on a 16-mile run?
Training for the New York City Marathon. Which
by the time this comes out, you will be about to run it, or you will have run it at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that how long it takes these things to?
Yes.
4 weeks.
Yeah, you're on the schedule.
Wow.
I think like October 30th is going to be when this comes out.
That means a lot of work goes into this.
So if
that means you guys can make this pretty if I'm not actually, if it's.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, if it's 4 weeks from now, then.
If you say something fucked up, we can cut it out. Like
you guys can use AI to just.
No, we don't use AI. We use Oscar.
Okay.
Shout out Oscar.
Okay.
God bless. Okay, so if this comes out before you run the New York Marathon, everyone just channel some good vibes because you have a goal. You're not just like running the marathon.
I do have a goal.
What's your goal?
I'm raising money.
For what charity?
For the James Blake Foundation.
Good. What do they do?
The James Blake Foundation is the late James Blake Sr. Mm-hmm. James Blake Jr. is, of course, his son. He's the famous tennis player. His dad died of pancreatic cancer, maybe. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, as you know, Miles' sister set us all up with this charity because it's the one she used to work at. And you can't get into the New York City Marathon unless you qualify, and the qualifying times are really fast.
What are the qualifying times?
I think it's like 2:55 maybe.
Okay, that's fast.
Or you have to have run like 10 marathons or 10 half marathons, which I'm not that.
This is your second marathon.
I'm not that experienced yet. Yeah.
And what is your goal time?
Under 3 hours. Anything with a 2 handle on it, I'll be very, very happy about.
Okay. What was your last marathon when you ran Philly?
3:06.
I think you can do that.
Do you have a sign idea for me?
No, today I started to panic because Morgan was like, what is your plan for the day of? Where are you going to be and when?
Yeah.
And I haven't
I certainly know her plan for the day of. She's going to be.
No, Morgan Osborne.
Morgan Osborne. Oh.
I know, I have to specify.
Yeah.
But Morgan Osborne, she's a woman with a plan. Be here at this time, be here at that time. So I was like, that's a really good point. I actually need to start like mapping out the logistics of where I'm going to be and when. But, per your triathlon or Ironman, I forget what it was. You'll see me in places that I'm probably not supposed to be. Like I'll be popping up everywhere. Like when I was with all of the swimmers at the start of your.
Yeah, maybe for context for everybody listening, she popped up 5 minutes before my Ironman swim was supposed to go off in the athlete section. Minutes before that, aggressively denying people access that were not athletes to the section. I saw like 5 different people get turned away. And then
And then all of a sudden I was
looked
like,
to my right, and you were there amongst the sea of people in goggles.
Yeah. Yeah. And you were like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I was like, shh, don't ask.
I loved it.
But I like to watch, that's my favorite part when you do these little races, these cutesy little races.
The start before the pain begins.
The start, because I like to watch you swim. And I like the swim, and I know that's the part that you're going to excel at. So I like to watch you go in the water and then come out of the water. And your energy also in the beginning is like, so like you can, it's really cute. Like you can see how excited you are.
Yeah, it's really,
get in the water.
It's really exciting. It's really exciting. Everybody feels the same way I do.
You think?
Everybody that's competing. Oh yeah, everybody that's competing feels.
Do you feel scared?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really scary.
Yeah, I feel scared.
So for context, okay, so this is your second marathon. You've done a triathlon.
Yes, I've done 2 triathlons. I've done an Olympic triathlon and I've done a half Ironman.
Is a half Ironman just a triathlon?
It's a type of triathlon. Yeah.
Oh.
So the longest type of triathlon is the full Ironman.
Okay.
That's 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike, and a marathon. I did half of that. So 1.2 mile swim, 56 mile bike, 13.1 mile run, which is a half marathon.
Right. And then your goal is going to be to do 1 full Ironman, and then we're done,
I'm going to do 1 full Ironman. Well,
and then we're done.
I'm not going to say that I'm never going to do another one again. But what I will say, and what I will promise you, is that I'm taking it 1 race at a time. I haven't planned out anything that in advance because I don't know how I'm going to feel.
Okay.
Know? Maybe I qualify for some other race that's in a really cool part of the country, and there are benefits to you at that point. I think it would, if I qualified for a race in Australia, I mean, I feel
that's a good pitch.
I feel like you would want to. Yeah, I mean, it's just the truth.
It's a good angle to take.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to take an angle. I'm just being honest. Like, I think
that's actually a perfect segue though, because I want you to just like kind of introduce yourself. Because obviously I know you, like we've been married for a year. We've been together for 5. We know each other, but they don't know you.
Okay.
They don't know you. And you're kind of like, it's funny. You give off this air of like mystery to them.
Well, I'm not really on social media.
Right, because you're not online.
I don't have a TikTok.
You're not on TikTok. You go on Instagram on the browser sometimes to like check your DMs. You weirdly go on YouTube though. Like I come into your office and you're like randomly on YouTube a lot. Like you
YouTube is a great way to ingest a lot of information. I learn really well with these like short video clips that YouTube does. I mean, I guess it's pretty similar to TikTok.
No, because YouTube I feel like is far more intentional and like you don't get served like stupid stuff. You're not watching people dance on YouTube. Yeah. Which is for your benefit.
Well, I use YouTube to listen to like sets of my favorite, DJs play during work and things like that. But I like YouTube. I think YouTube's a great platform.
But so
you should get on YouTube.
I should get on YouTube. Well, this will be on YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know how to do it. Brittany's going to help me.
Oh, wow. Maybe I'll get served my own.
Yeah, that would be fun.
My own content.
That would be fun.
I don't think I'll watch
it. Don't watch it. I don't recommend listening to your own voice back. It's actually so painful. But so you give off this air of mystery to them, and it's actually funny because like
Thank you.
Are the epitome of someone who has managed to not get sucked into the doomsday of just scrolling, being a consumer. Like you actually use your time intentionally.
Yeah, I feel like after I met you, I was like, I don't really have a reason to be on this thing. Like, I feel like a lot of my friends, like, I feel like they use it to connect with girls.
Yeah. And like stay up to speed on,
And some people use it for other things, but like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the way that I feel when I don't use it.
Yeah.
Like
I could probably benefit.
My brain feels like noticeably better.
Yeah.
And less cluttered.
Yeah. And speaking of your brain, so you were...
And you want me to... I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You want me to introduce myself?
Yeah, give us your elevator pitch on you and like your life, like where you grew up, where you went to college, major, because I don't know why I said major. I think I said major because I think it's so weird that you're a math major, but you take it from there.
I grew up in Charlotte, spent like 18 years there. I went to college in Boston at Boston College. I was on the swim team there for 4 years. I've been a competitive swimmer, or was a competitive swimmer for 15 years, since I was, doing the math wrong here, 11 years, since I was 11 years old. So 22 was when I graduated from BC, so that was my retirement. So I was a competitive swimmer for 11 years.
Technically, you're still competing.
Yeah, not in swimming though.
Yeah, that's fair.
But maybe someday. I would love to do masters.
What's masters?
It's competitive swimming for adults.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
I support that.
Remember the Closer Swim Club? I want to open up the Closer Swim Clubs.
Yeah. We will. I think we will have a swim club one day.
I would love that.
And an ice cream shop.
That would be amazing.
An ice cream coffee shop.
Matcha.
And matcha. There will be matcha.
The finest matcha.
The finest grade.
The finest grade matcha.
We should franchise a kettle.
Directly from Japan.
That would be.
Because there is a lot of fraudulent product on the market.
I completely agree. Well, I actually don't really know. I just go with what you tell me when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, there definitely is. I don't really drink that much matcha these days, but...
No, I know. You've been laying off the caffeine entirely.
Well, I went 6 weeks without it.
Yeah.
And I loved how it made me feel. So
yeah.
I was like, I'm going to...
So this seems to be a theme. So you were a competitive swimmer. You went to Boston College. And I just need to call out that you were a math major because God chose you for me in so many ways, but mostly because you were a math major and he knew that I don't know how to fucking do math. And for those reasons, I'm in. But this seems to be a theme that you do things that make your brain feel good. And I love you and you're my husband, but even if you weren't, I would still admire you on the deepest level because you are this rare breed of person where you want to do something and you do it, or you want to feel a certain way, so you do. You do the actual hard things and you reap the benefits, and the benefits are so noticeable to you and the people around you. I just need to understand, and I've never really asked you this, how the fuck did you get like that? You are the most disciplined, you do the things.
My parents, how they raised me, and then the swimming.
Yeah.
Competitive swimming was very intense from a young age. It was very regimented. It was a culture where you didn't miss practice. And if you missed practice, then you weren't looked down on, but it wasn't something that you did.
Yeah.
Especially in the area that I grew up in.
Yeah.
That was just the culture. You don't miss practice. And if you do, you need to have a really good reason why. Mm-hmm. Yeah, as with anything in life, I think it's, you become a product of the people that you surround yourself with. So I actually feel like I can take very little credit. The credit goes to my parents and all the people that I grew up swimming with that influenced me.
Yeah.
And then the people that I swam with in college too were the same way.
Yeah.
But I think it all comes back to the swimming. Mm-hmm. There definitely was something there, and I had really bad ADD growing up. And Michael Phelps talks about this too, how swimming was an outlet and almost a sort of a treatment for his ADHD, and I felt the same way. I think a lot of people do. Mm-hmm. I credit a lot of the way that I am to swimming.
Yeah, I think swimming had a huge impact on your life.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't necessarily think I took life, right, in air quotes, holistically. I didn't necessarily take school as seriously as I should have at certain points, certainly not in high school. In college, towards the tail end, when I felt like I was growing up a little bit, maybe I did. But well, meeting you, right, was when I felt like everything clicked for me. And prior to that, it was my mom dying because I was like, well, clearly I'm mortal. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
I never had anything like that happen to me. But when it happens to you like that, it changes you.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, oh, wow. So I really do only have one shot at this.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was like, I want to make my time here really spectacular. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like I flipped a switch, but I think over time I've gotten more and more sort of straight edge about how I like to do things.
Yeah.
And when you met me, I was drinking still.
I was just about to say, when I met you, you were a normal 26-year-old, going to the bars, partying,
totally. I was having a normal 20-year-old experience in San Francisco.
You weren't you weren't like this hardcore.
Living with my best friend. Yeah, we were having a great time.
You had so much fun.
But we were, I think, both of us were healthier than we had ever been together. Because that is actually with Matt, that is actually the guy that I did my first triathlon with.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
And we would train for stuff together. And San Francisco was just a city where it's, I think, very easy to be healthy. Yeah,
you definitely weren't like destroying your body like a 26-year-old living in New York. The culture in San Francisco is just different, but you weren't.
We were, but I think that.
But you were always like biking and active.
I would say I was doing probably, comparatively speaking, maybe a little bit less of the physically, destructive behavior and probably more of the wellness type stuff. But I mean, it's been like getting really serious about all this stuff, like getting really serious about not drinking and about, my diet and about running marathons and doing these Ironmans has been, I didn't wake up one day and decide that I wanted to do that. I think it's kind of been a progression.
Yeah, like a slow burn.
Yeah, where I've gotten more and more sort of confidence, in myself.
But for you also, it's like not.
And I also have your support too.
Of course. And you have made me so much. I mean, I am the calmest, best version of myself in large part because of you and because of our relationship. But for you, I show parts of your crazy, like you eat scrambled eggs with peanut butter, which is fucking
it's really good.
Bizarre.
But why is that bizarre?
It's just a bizarre like flavor combination. I
think that everything groundbreaking probably starts at a certain point with people labeling it bizarre.
Totally. You
know what I mean?
It's a valid point.
I'm not trying to suggest that I'm onto something grandiose, but
you're like the next influencer of eggs and peanut butter. Yeah, but what I'm saying is
the Tesla of.
I show these little like snippets of you. You meditate every single day. You do all this crazy exercise, but like my point is you also do.
I didn't meditate today, by the way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. I've been having to shuffle things around.
Which is good because we've talked about this many times in our relationship. Like you're so disciplined that sometimes it's kind of backfired, and like rigidity is like the opposite of freedom, and like so sometimes when we're traveling or whatever, or we have something to do in the morning, like you're not going to have that 30 minutes to meditate and like do your entire morning routine, and like you've done a really good job about becoming more flexible, which I appreciate, and I think those around you also appreciate.
I think it's just also like just letting it go.
Yeah.
Like I used to think it was like such a big deal if I missed a day.
Yeah.
I don't miss many days.
No, I know.
But on a day like today, it's like, okay, am I going to sit down and do this for 20 minutes and then, be 20 minutes late and I'm already an hour late? Like I kind of have to pick. So I pick sleep and going on my run.
Yeah. But you also.
Not pissing my friend off more than.
Good call. Don't piss off Salazzo. But like
he doesn't get irate very easily.
But in it, like there's so many guys out there, or just people in general, who are like so into this like wellness biohacking stuff, but you've really integrated the emotional component too, the mental component. Your mental health is also as important to you as your physical health. Like you're not just a workout freak and like eating clean and whatever. You also like, take the time to meditate every day or most days. You journal. Like I come out when I like get up in the morning and you're like free writing in your journal and like writing down affirmations and things like on your whiteboard. And you don't go on social media because it makes your brain feel better. And I
try and not go on social media.
No, I know, but
sometimes I do.
I know, but I've never seen you doom scrolling on social media in the last 4 years. What I'm saying is you've done a really good job of integrating those two things, and like you see the value of like the mental health as part of the physical health. Like they come together, and that's what actually makes you like feel
I think
optimal.
Once I got a taste of what it feels like to feel good, I didn't really want to go back.
Yeah. You're emotionally mature enough where you do those things. Like I don't know a ton of guys who like openly like journaling every day or like writing affirmations or, you know, like even like when we went to couples therapy before we got married, which I recommend every couple does. It's, I think, so good for you. We found that therapist because like you were already seeing that therapist like on your own. And a lot of girls, I think, make their husband or their boyfriend or whatever go to therapy. Like you just were like, nothing's necessarily wrong, but like I've been through some shit. Like I'm gonna go to therapy, and like it really benefited you. That is the coolest thing about you that I don't think a lot of people know, and I appreciate it so much. And I don't really know how you are this way, but it's.
Thanks for saying that, sweetie.
I mean it.
Yeah,
I really
some
mean
of it because of you.
I'll take credit.
I got to be the best version of myself for you.
I'll take credit for that. I love you.
You're a specimen.
You're a specimen as well. You are for sure a specimen. Speaking of specimens.
Got to make sure that
the people want your morning routine and they want it detailed, and I need you to be like specific. So like on a perfect day, this is called A Very Nice Day podcast. A very nice day for you, okay? What does the morning routine look like? And I want like details. I want time that you wake up. I want the first thing that you do when you come out of the bedroom, supplements that you're taking, like in what order. Like you can take a second to think about it, but I want you to get detailed. I
think when I wake up is more like, I don't want to necessarily say that I have a set time that I try and wake up every single morning. Like ideally it would be at like 6 a.m. But recently that's just...
You're wearing your hat backwards and I want to wear my hat backwards.
That just... All right, I'm going to wear my hat forwards now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm broadcasting our best friend's
Deb and Alex,
wedding.
Shout out.
It all depends on like how much sleep I've gotten. Because I try and stay in bed until I feel like I'm...
Oh, we're going to get to the nighttime routine also.
Rested.
The nighttime.
I'm usually in bed by 9:30 and then up around 6 or 6:30. So that gives me the 8. Some days I need more than that, you know? So I think it changes. The first thing that I try and do when I'm out of bed is chug a bunch of water. Yeah. With a little element packet in there.
Yeah, we love the element unflavored, like the salty.
Stir that thing up.
Creatine.
Chug it. Then I meditate to try and do 40 minutes.
Okay, and what app do you use to meditate?
I use Calm. I don't use guided meditation. I just use a soundscape on Calm. I usually pick forest sounds.
Yeah, like the rain.
The rain or the water running over rocks. Yeah. Type thing. It's very nice.
Did you start at 40 minutes? I actually don't know this. Did you like...
Started at 10.
Started at 10, then you just built up.
Started at 10, then I went to 15, and then my... meditation teacher that I've been seeing for a number of years was like, I think that you should just go to 30 because at 15, it's not really like doing much. Like you really want the benefits, like you need to go 30 minutes or longer. And so then I went to 30 and then I was at 30 for a long time. And then I met with her again and she was like, you need to go to 45. Okay. And so I've kind of found...
How did you find this meditation teacher again?
San Francisco. Yeah.
Like through the grapevine?
Through the grapevine, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Do you think she's still taking clients?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to put her info in the show notes.
She's great.
She is great. I've met her over Zoom. She's a cutie.
She's been teaching meditation for 15 years. She's amazing. She's incredible.
And did you seek her out in the beginning of your meditation journey? Or like...
No, it was... How it happened was the universe kind of put us together because we were having a conversation about something not related to meditation and somehow it came up that
she also
she's
does
a meditation teacher.
Yeah.
I think maybe I saw it on her LinkedIn or something and I asked her about it. And at that time, you had actually introduced me to the idea of meditating and I started doing it.
Holy shit, that was me?
Yes, because in San Francisco, because you were like, I think this would be really good for you. And
was I doing it? That's so me to be like, no.
You were doing it.
Yeah, that's so me to be like, this would be great for you, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, and I was like, whatever. And there's a lot of science on meditation. I mean, it worked very well for me. I mean, but there's also... It's
amazing.
It was easy for me to go in and read all these studies. There's peer-reviewed studies.
Yes.
That are out there that talk about, meditation versus SSRIs, right? And it's effectively the same thing.
When
you do it long enough, but I think I don't remember the time period and how long you have to do it. I don't think it was 40 minutes. I think it was like 20 minutes a day or something, but it does the same thing.
Yeah.
And
I could see how that would be possible.
Yeah. I mean, it changes the structure of your brain. I feel completely different than
you are completely different. And
when I started,
not like personality wise, just like calmer, like you're like not reactive.
Yeah,
well,
try.
You're pretty.
But I would say it's night and day different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've watched it.
Yeah.
Change.
But that's like the most important. I think that is probably the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
Like that is, I feel like the biggest tool that I have
in your toolbox
to manage everything.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like that gives me everything that taking supplements and exercising and going to bed early and sleeping well.
Yeah.
Like all wrapped up into one.
Yeah.
Like it's like I think it's the best thing you can do.
No, I mean, when I meditated even just for 5 minutes a day, I think I did it for 30 days. I just meditated for 5 minutes a day and it made a huge difference. Before you touch your phone or anything, you just do it. Mm-hmm. Okay, wait. So you meditate and then what?
And then I eat. Usually a little.
What are we eating?
Usually a little something. Usually some fruit. And then I go out on my run. This is recently.
Yeah.
With the marathon and the
marathon training.
Ironman stuff. And then I go out on my run, which is usually about 50 minutes. Sometimes it can be as long as, like this morning was 2 hours, but that's usually on the weekends.
Right.
And then I do my run and I come back and I shower, I make myself some breakfast and then I start working.
What is your thought process on how you maintain and prioritize your routine and like health and wellness and like taking care of yourself amidst having a high pressure job? Because you work in finance and it's stressful.
It's all about the rules that you set for yourself. It's the things that you tell yourself are the most important. If you establish very clearly with yourself that these are the things that need to happen every day, in the same way that you tell yourself that you have to brush your teeth every day because that would be disgusting if you didn't, right? But in a similar vein, I have established with myself that meditating and exercising and a host of other things are my non-negotiables. And if that is how you define them, then eventually, if you're disciplined enough, it'll become a habit. And it has become a habit. Mm-hmm. But it's all about the rules that you set for yourself, right? I mean, people ask me, well, how do you meditate? Well, you just make it a priority. Something
that's beautiful about you, but also sometimes like works against you. And that's why you are the head and I am the heart of this relationship, is like, you're very like logic driven. Like things are very black and white to you. And like, I think that's just how your brain is wired. And it's a beautiful thing in a lot of ways.
And I'm just speaking about what has worked for me.
Totally.
Yeah, so I guess I should say that. But I mean, one of the things that is a focal point for me is being as healthy as I can. And so over time, it's become obvious to me that meditating helps me do that. Mm-hmm.
So you just make it the most important, like if it's...
Yeah, and by the way, in a lot of ways, sorry, Steve, it is more important than my job. Because if I don't do that, I'm not going to be able to do my job effectively. Mm-hmm. So like if it means starting my day a little bit later so I can get it in, I don't stress about that because I know that I'm going to be a better version of myself if I
take the time.
If I just take the time.
Mm-hmm. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, sweetie.
You're really crushing life. Okay. We have a lot to cover and time is flying. So, okay, before I ask this question, full disclaimer, Andy is not a doctor. I mean, like in a past life, maybe, but he is not a doctor. My
dad is a doctor.
He's an anesthesiologist. Shout out Frank. But this is a man in finance, okay? 6'3", blue eyes, no trust fund, but we hit a couple of the marks. But so this is not medical advice, and you should always consult your doctor before taking a supplement, okay? But the people want to know, and I also want to know, what the fuck are we taking? You give me a bajillion pills every day. I feel better. Mm-hmm. I look good, I feel good, I sleep good. What are we taking? What are we taking in the morning? And what are we taking at night? Like, what are we taking right now?
I'm just going to give you one for the morning and one for night. I feel like these are very non-controversial things to take.
Okay, but can you also tell me what we take right now? Just like for context.
We take a lot of fish oil.
Yeah, like a mega dose.
Talk about bang for your buck.
Holy shit, it has changed my brain.
Yeah, and my dad was actually the one that got me on fish oil.
Yeah.
Years ago, because, well, according to him, but I think it's actually, I think it's common knowledge. Fish oil is one of the only things that is known to prevent dementia. Mm-hmm. Megadoses of fish oil. Mm-hmm. That runs in my family. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't want dementia. Mm-hmm. So that's what started that. Yeah. But there are a whole host of other benefits.
And I will say, I've been taking Adderall since I was 12.
Mind and body.
And we've been taking fish oil since 2021, like every day. This isn't something you're going to take and like
big doses.
You're going to be like, oh my God, I feel amazing right away. It's not like that.
It's an antidepressant.
It's like you have to take it every day. But my brain feels so different. Like I used to get these like Adderall crashes or like burn, like kind of my brain feeling like foggy and fuzzy. And I know you're anti me taking Adderall, which I totally get. And like the train will come to an end eventually once you like knock me up in 100 years. But fish oil has made me feel sharper, clearer. I've actually noticed a difference, but you have to take it like every day over time. Okay, so we take fish oil. What else are we taking in the morning?
Coenzyme Q.
CoQ10.
CoQ10.
Yeah.
Coenzyme Q10.
Antioxidant.
It's very good for your mitochondria. And I'm not going to get into it, but your mitochondria give you energy. Okay. So it's very good to keep your mitochondria healthy. Okay.
Keep the mitochondria happy.
You take a lot of that.
Okay. That's sexy. Mitochondria.
This is a supplement. I have a lot of whey protein.
Okay.
Just a super high quality protein for like...
Creatine.
Creatine too.
Yeah, and creatine's great for women.
Creatine is great for muscle health. Mm-hmm. And then also for brain health. Mm-hmm. I have a friend, as you know, that's a Navy SEAL. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that he does when he's really tired is he takes 2 scoops of creatine. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I should do that.
Because it's a cognitive booster.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, I do. You don't know, but on days that you're tired, I do that. Oh. Yeah.
You give it to me. Yeah.
Yeah, you just have no clue.
Sneaky. Okay, cool. Great. I love that for me. And then we also take lion's mane, right?
Sometimes. I don't take that much anymore.
Okay.
Mostly because we don't have it, but I would take it.
Yeah.
I would take it.
We were taking it.
Yeah, lion's mane's great.
You were also giving me saffron. Especially around my period, you were giving me saffron.
Saffron is also an antidepressant, and I read in...
Again, we're not doctors. Like, please, we're just normal people.
Dr. Amen's book that he gives people saffron, or recommends that people take saffron, especially for PMS. Mm-hmm. So saffron's great. I don't know why. I don't know what it does, but he's a very famous psychiatrist.
Yes.
That has done...
Dr. Amen's a great follow.
Tons of these brain scans. So anyways, it came from somewhere legitimate. Yeah. I don't actually know what mechanism it acts on that would give this effect. But yeah, I mean, it works. It seems to work. Yeah. And then at night, a lot of magnesium. Yeah. Magnesium and L-theanine.
Yeah. And I'm going to link everything in our show notes. So I'll have to get everything from you. Yep. Okay, so that's great on supplements. I was going to ask you this question. You kind of touched on it earlier, but do you think losing your mom has influenced your motivation and discipline at all? Because like grief will do that to you. Like you said earlier, like it kind of reminds you like that we're mortal. Mm-hmm. And we really bonded over that when we first met because we both had these experiences with grief.
Yeah, I felt like you really understood me.
Yeah, I felt like you understood me too. My sister called me before our first date and said, maybe just wait till like the third date to tell him about Pat. And I was like,
that's not you though.
And then you were like, have you been in any serious relationships? And I was like, yeah, and he died and like, I'm really fucked up from it still. And you were like so empathetic. So many people, I had been like on dates with people before or like, you know, seeing people and they like got all weird and scared and awkward. And you were like,
understandable,
but you were so open about it, curious and like wanted to like get to know him through me, which I really appreciated, but we like bonded over that. And so I wonder if that affects like your like view on life and like how you live your life.
Oh, it certainly does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly does.
'Cause losing a parent is tough.
Yeah, it's tough. But you make it into something positive.
Yeah.
You kind of have to. And I don't think that if you ask my friends, they'd be like, oh my God, he's so different. But in some ways, you know, I am. I'm just more focused on a different set of things than I was, say, 5 years ago.
It makes you reprioritize.
Yeah, definitely. Makes you reprioritize family. Certainly reprioritize your health.
Yeah, that is for certain.
A whole host of other things.
It gives you kind of a new lease on life in a lot of ways.
That is what has to happen for you to thrive.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of a hard pivot. People want to know, do you drink? What's your philosophy on drinking for you?
Do I drink? The answer is no. Would I drink if I felt compelled to do so? Probably. But I would say I have a handful of drinks a year.
We're like on this
is how I would classify it. It's on that spectrum. It's like I could probably, you know, like for instance, last week at Alex and Seb's wedding, all my friends were doing a tequila shot.
Yeah.
And, you know, our buddy was back from his deployment. And so that seemed like the appropriate time to do something like that.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to be
And you just took one shot.
Yeah. I took half of it.
Yeah.
Half of it. Nobody's looking. It was dark out.
And for context.
But no, I don't drink.
Yeah.
I don't drink.
You drink like this year, you drank less on less occasions than I did.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like want you to drink. Like I'm always like, do it.
I don't understand that.
Because it was never like an issue for you. Like for you. So for context, like when I stopped drinking, like
why is that? But that's not.
I just want to see you like your hair. I want you to see you like.
I know, but I want to see you. I don't need.
I want to see you like vulnerable. Like I don't know.
What? You just admitted that?
No, it's so fucked up. But like I want to see you like. I want you to be like hungover and like.
I mean, I was just sick this week, so I was vulnerable then. You can see me vulnerable in other ways.
No, I see you, but you get.
I'm not. Yeah. Sure.
I want you to be like, oh, like.
I'm not gonna.
I need to lay in bed all day. Like
I also I hate the way it makes me feel. Like I feel terrible.
And for context, like when I stopped drinking in 2020. I came to you and I like told you I was making this big decision. And then you were like, oh my God, that's perfect. I literally hate drinking. I'll stop with you as well, which I've been really lucky because like a lot of people ask me, they're like, how do you manage, you know, you decided to not drink, but does Andy drink? Because a lot of people want to stop drinking, but their partner like loves to drink. And so I've been just been very lucky that's been your stance on things. And yours was like, you know, primarily again, like health and wellness and mental health.
I also I don't really feel like I have, again, to going back to meeting you, I don't really feel like I have a reason to drink. I mean, I think that it's very clear to me why alcohol is useful. I mean, if you put a bunch of people that don't know each other in a room and they're sober, it's very awkward. I don't think anybody would dispute that. So I totally understand why it exists.
Like these weddings have been so hard.
If I was single still, I probably would still be drinking.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't. But but my point is, it's circumstantial.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have a place with
where we're
the
at.
Athletic stuff that I'm doing and the fact that you don't like to do it. And I'm happy to.
No, I like to drink. So I just can't if I want to have a healthy relationship. With you and with myself.
Sure.
I like to drink, but like it's just not possible.
You like to have a healthy relationship, I guess, is a better
I love to have a healthy relationship.
Right. So I'm happy to help you along on that journey.
Yeah.
And that's also great for me too, you know?
Because you're like, oh, I don't even want to.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Speaking of relationships, a lot of people are curious about how we met, and I've told it from my point of view. From your point of view, like what is your story on like where you were at and like how we met and like the way things escalated from the minute we met?
On Hinge.
You're just scrolling on Hinge one day?
You were very beautiful.
Thank you.
And so I swiped. For some reason you swiped back and I was like, what?
No, I was like, he's so hot. We'll probably have sex and never talk again.
I was like, what?
He'll ruin my life.
I was like, what the fuck? No way. Because when you open the app, I feel like your connections kind of just pop up. And so I was astonished. I remember being astonished to see that you had swiped back.
Astonished.
And then had responded. And I was like, wow.
And we were talking in all caps.
We got a winner.
Yeah.
we were talking in all caps.
Yeah.
And we made a plan to meet up.
Which
and
was
I remember,
amazing.
and I remember thinking, looking at your pictures, being like, this is what a beautiful woman looks like.
Thanks, sweetie. That's really nice.
I mean, I still feel that way, but I remember thinking that when the first time I saw you.
I love you. You're sweet. But you were really good because you got my number and like we got off the app. And like I have no experience on the app. You were my first and only Hinge date and we got married. So like who the fuck am I to give advice? But like give your number and get the fuck off the app. And like if the guy doesn't make a plan, then he doesn't make a plan. Like you had 10 days. We were like going to Coachella or something or New York. I don't remember.
I think I was.
And so you made a plan for us 10 days out. We didn't text at all in between. And then you texted me 2 days before to confirm. Mm-hmm. And like, that was amazing. Like you were an anomaly in that sense.
Some administrative work.
Yeah. You were doing admin.
I mean, can you blame me?
You're so good at admin.
For wanting to confirm that you were still down.
I love you.
To come?
I was so down.
I was like, great.
Again, I just thought we were going to bang it out. And then that would be it from there. And I was happy with that.
That certainly happened.
It did happen.
A lot
of people also asked like about like sleeping with someone on the first date. Like if that actually hinders a guy's point of view. And like, I slept with you on the second date, dead sober on a Sunday at noon.
I think that's an impossible question for me to answer. I think that if you've met the right person, I don't see why it would make a difference.
I completely agree.
Yeah, I don't.
But remember our first date, you asked me, you were like, do you want to come back to my apartment? And I was like, yeah, but I'm not having sex with you. And you were like, what the actual fuck is wrong with you? We literally just met. But then I had sex with you literally that Sunday. So like, what is life?
Right.
And then I swear on my life, I already know the answer to this question, but it was asked many times.
Okay.
How did you know that I was the one?
From what I can recall, I wouldn't say that I was like, oh, I'm going to marry.
Yeah.
Because I think I tried to keep crazy thoughts out of my head like that. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they were floating around, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think that I was, I think that I was trying to be, reasonable. But there was just something uniquely different about, mostly about how I felt around you. Mm-hmm. And I of course had other relationships before you, which I'm grateful for because I had a point of comparison. Mm-hmm. And I just felt completely like myself.
Me too.
And I remember thinking that was a really great sign.
Yeah.
I was doing some weird shit.
Yeah.
We were doing some weird shit. And I didn't think
we were so weird.
Yeah. And I didn't think
immediately.
And I didn't think twice about it.
Yeah.
And I didn't think twice about it. I was like, yeah, I just feel like I just be myself. And that's
so comfy.
And that's really how it started.
Yeah.
On my end. And obviously there's a whole list of personality traits that I love about you, how you treat people and also what you had been through was really, in a strange way, very attractive to me. I felt very attracted to the fact that you had been through so much and you were sitting in front of me like this, ray of sunshine. I thought that was really cool. And I remember thinking that life is hard and she clearly knows how to deal with what life throws at her. And I thought that was really important.
That's very sweet.
I thought that early on. And I also obviously had similar stuff happen to me. Mm-hmm. So I was like, she gets it in the same way that I do. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. And we both, I think, bonded over the fact that like these dark things had happened, but like we weren't going to like be the victim of our stories. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like we were going to make everything
I have no reason.
Better.
I have no reason to be a victim. I had all the resources.
Yeah.
Incredible friends. I had everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
I love you.
I love you.
You're so special.
So are you.
Okay, last two questions. I've put you through the ringer. Actually, no. I
don't really think you have.
I didn't. I was really easy.
Pretty down the fairway.
Okay. Top 3 book recommendations, and like it can't be like some weird Socrates shit. Like give us like an actual book, like English.
English?
Yeah, please. Please. Yeah, like I need it needs to be written in plain English, not Socrates. Or Aristotle.
Yeah, the Greek philosophy, it was at one point in ancient Greek, but it's been translated to English. So I'm not
Yeah.
I don't speak.
But like a modern day book.
Yeah. Okay. Why We Sleep.
Okay.
Matt Walker.
Okay.
So
he has a podcast too, I think.
He goes on people's podcasts.
But listen to this one. Don't leave yet.
He's on people's podcasts all the time. This book changed everything for me. After I read this book, this was a number of years ago, but after I read this book, I realized that sleep is literally the most important thing.
Yeah, it's like the foundation of life.
It is the foundation for everything, and you have to get good at it if you want to feel good. Mm-hmm. And I actually recommended this book to my dad, who is a physician, chronically overworked profession, as everybody knows. And it also completely changed his opinion on sleep, so much so that he recommended the book and bought the book for, I think he has like 50 partners, but he bought it for like a number of them. I don't know if it was all 50, but he bought it for critical mass.
Okay.
It's like a must read. I think that anybody that wants a clue about why sleep is so essential. Mm-hmm. It's a very easy read too, I think.
Okay, what else?
Some parts of it are, at least. This is a practical one, but The Psychology of Money is really great.
Yeah. I'll have to have you on for a part 2. People ask a lot of questions about money.
It's a beginner's finance book. I recently read it. It's out there. It's pretty well known. A lot of really great tidbits.
Okay.
In that book that I'm not going to go into it.
Yeah.
Mostly because I don't want to get them wrong.
Yeah.
But it teaches you some of the common pitfalls that people experience because they're human and because human emotion gets in the way of investing in finances. Mm-hmm. It teaches you how to get out of your own way.
Okay.
And it teaches you how to save money.
Okay, good. We love that.
I highly recommend. It's a great book.
Okay, and third. I actually feel like I want to answer it for you. You didn't read it, but you listened to it.
Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, but I feel like it's life-changing.
It's very life-changing. I recommended it to a couple of people, but I haven't.
It's by Joe Dispenza.
Yeah, but I haven't finished reading it yet.
Yeah.
But it's great. I think it takes a lot of the woo-woo concepts and puts a scientific spin on them, which, as you know, I love.
You love.
But he does that somehow. He has a lot of YouTube videos too that I watch.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that's a great book.
Okay, you can have one more if you want. One more book rack.
Jeez.
We can also circle back.
I just also read a lot of stuff.
You're reading constantly.
And I'm not really convinced people would be very fascinated by.
I'm just gonna have to start like an ongoing Andy's book club series. Like you're gonna have like a book club that you're not running. I'm just running it for you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. I mean, at one point I was reading a lot of Stoic philosophy. I think that's like.
I know you love the Stoics.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And there's like a whole host of people that you can pick up. Marcus Aurelius Meditations is a great book.
And you can, what's that guy's name? Ryan Holiday.
It's a great self-help book. Because
Ryan Holiday's books are great.
He wrote it when he was emperor of Rome, and they were going through a period of unrest, famine.
Sorry, it's not funny. It's not funny. I just you're funny.
But I think that the perspective that he has because of it is obviously the world is different today.
Yeah.
But it's advice on how to deal with, everyday trials and tribulations through.
That's still applicable.
Through his eyes. Yeah, very applicable. Yeah.
Okay, my love. The final question.
Okay.
Brunello or Loro Piana?
Brunello, because I have a guy that I love shopping with.
I'm sorry, we have to tell this story, and this is the note that we have to end on. Can we please tell it?
I don't know what story you're going to tell, but sure.
Okay, Andy, and then we're done. Andy was so worried, okay, because his sales associate, Jonathan from Brunello, hadn't been answering his texts, okay? And they text a lot. Like they're always like sending photos of stuff, like whatever. And he's like, Jonathan's so sweet. He's always like sending little gifts to the house. Like, I mean, granted, like he's probably not like just being nice. Like you spend money with him, you know?
Yeah. He also is a nice guy.
But he's always like writing little notes, sending chocolates, whatever. Okay. So he wasn't answering Andy. Andy got so worried that he wasn't answering that he called the store to see if Jonathan still worked there. And they were like, yeah. And so Andy's like kind of like pacing throughout the house. Like he's like does he just like not like me anymore? Like, does he like not want to work with me? Like, did I do something? Like Andy's like, this is going on for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was racking my mind trying to figure out. I thought I offended him.
You thought you and Jonathan's friendship was done.
Yeah,
kaput.
I kind of did. I thought,
you did. You were sad.
I couldn't figure out for the life of me what I had done.
You were mourning the loss.
Yeah, well, I was like, I was like, all right, well, this is actually great because now I'm going to save a lot of money.
Totally. I was also thinking the same thing.
But on the other hand, no, this is terrible.
Yeah. But so finally, as of yesterday, you got a response from Jonathan. There was some type of like technical issue with iCloud and all of his texts were going through green to you and he doesn't hate you. And that's exactly where we're going to go after this.
Confirmed.
To go see Jonathan at Brunello. And I'm not going to judge how you spend your money, which is our money.
I may not spend anything. I'm just there to look.
I might get some. I don't own anything Brunello. And people are always like, why don't you have anything Brunello? I don't know.
Great.
I love an Amazon dupe.
Waiting for some sponsorship or
Brunello's not going to sponsor me, sweetie. I'm
Why?
I'm not their target demo.
Sponsor her.
I wear $35 Amazon bags.
Please.
But we'll talk about it. I love you.
I love you.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you to everyone who listened. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you have a very nice day and we'll be back next week. Happy hump day. Hump someone you love. I'm going to hump someone I love. And
you're so
and all is well.
Unfiltered.
And all is well. That's why I have a mic in front of me.
People don't need to hear that.
They know we hump.
Okay.
All right. I love you all. Mwah.